So yesterday, the tech world had probably one of the craziest days, I think, ever. And it just shows you what happens when stupidity comes through and when negligence comes through too. Now, a company called I think it's called CrowdStrike. Now they stop breaches, I think, with companies like security breaches and stuff like that. They're a cybersecurity company. This is what Wikipedia says the company is. CrowdStrike Holdings is an American cyber security technology company based in Austin. It provides cloud workload protection and security and threat intelligence and cyber attack response services. So it's there to protect companies against breaches and stuff like that, although they still seem to happen. But I guess not every breach, unfortunately, can be, bulletproofed. Unfortunately, some breaches just, they get through. But I'm guessing this company's here to sort of test their services. I know there are people out there you can pay that will hack into your business or hack into your company if you paid them the right amount, and they will see how vulnerable your stuff is. So I'm guessing this company does the exact same. However, a day ago, they made probably one of the biggest and stupidest mistakes ever. Now, I don't know what companies these manage. I think they manage Microsoft and all sorts. Now, this has come out from the CEO of Microsoft. Yesterday, CrowdStrike released an update that began impacting IT systems globally. We are aware of the issue and working closely with CrowdStrike and across the industry to provide customers technical guidance and support to the safety, bring their systems back online. Everything, and I mean everything. Xbox was involved. I don't know about PlayStation, but I know Xbox was down yesterday because of that. No, I don't know. Well, I think it was down because of that, because it was down for a few hours. Again, it was down previously. I don't know if that was because of this. Now, apparently, again, this was because of a update. They released an update with some bug in it or something like that, and it completely killed everything. Apparently, people's Windows updates, they were getting blue screens of death. This is quite a serious... Hospitals around the world, I think, automotive companies, transport companies as well, were having problems and struggling. It's pretty much people couldn't pay their payments. Now, I don't know what payment providers, it was affecting banks. I don't know if it was affecting PayPal and other payment providers, but it was affecting quite a lot of stuff. Now, this type of stuff isn't really surprising, but it's more of a what to do in the future. Now, in the future, don't release an update that has something in it that will cause a major problem. I'm guessing these companies pay you quite a fair bit of money to actually oversee them and, look after them. Now, I don't know if this crashed. It had something to do with Microsoft, and it really didn't do a great thing to Microsoft. And it looked like it bugged out everything. It bugged out people's Windows updates. There were people posting pictures all over on Twitter of them trying to Windows update, and it looks like it blue screened their thing. Now, I hope they can get through that. I think it should be all right after this is all sorted out. I don't know if it is sorted out, to be honest. It might be. I'm not too sure. But again, these type of things, I don't know if they're really uncommon. Things happen, unfortunately. I think that's the sad reality of the tech world. Technology is, should we say, a very frustrating thing. It can fail very easily. Technology is one of the things that can help us, but also can destroy us. We rely on it for pretty much everything these days. You want to buy something, you could use your bank card and stuff like that, but sometimes even using that can actually be a bad thing. or you want to check how much money is in your bank account or your, PayPal account or anything else like that. Oh, there you go. Stuff like this, when you rely on stuff, and unfortunately, like hospitals and fucking automotive things, it can really cause a big problem. And I think, again, the question they're probably asking as well is, what do we do in the future if this happens? And, well, how can we stop it? And what is the best solution for this? Now, the best solution, in my opinion, would be, well, don't release an update with something in it. Now, I don't know if it was a bug or something like that. I don't exactly know 100%. But it did some damage to everything. It didn't do a great thing. This is from The Guardian. What is CrowdStrike and how did it cause a global Windows outage? Software made by US cybersecurity was intended to protect against crashes and disruption in virtual systems. It ended up taking them down. A global technology outage on Friday grounded flights, disturbed health services and crashed payment systems, and blocked access to Microsoft services in what experts believe the largest IT failures in history. Maybe it is. I don't know any other pretty large IT failures. Now, again, this is something that I think we should be scared. It's quite a scary thing. You rely on all these pieces of technology in Windows, Microsoft again. Microsoft own a lot. They do a lot. Again, a lot of people use Windows and rely on Windows, whether that's to get their work done, to run their business. I think a lot of hospitals use Windows as well for a lot of various things, scans and stuff like that. Windows is used again in the transportation things for trains, for buses and stuff like that. So it's used quite a lot by companies, and companies again rely on Windows to actually power their company and make sure they're doing well. And when something fails like this, it's like a domino effect. It affects the high up, Microsoft or whatever company, and then it's like sends off a chain reaction, and slowly the dominoes just fall down, and one thing collapses, then another, and then another, then another, and it just keeps going. So, these type of things, you got to be very scared of them. It can affect you. They can stop what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish. It's unfortunate that one little update like that absolutely nuked the IT industry for quite some time. The cause of the distributions, and it originated from the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, which provides software with a wide range of industries. An update, one of their CrowdStrike pieces of software, Falcon sensor malfunction, throwing a wrench into companies running Windows, leading into major tech failures around the world, the company said. Now, looking at the actual company on the stock, it hasn't taken a hit, so I don't know why. That's quite rare, to be honest. Now, I say the company didn't take a hit. They've gone from, 300 or so dollars, and they've shot down to, actually did shoot down very quickly to $273, all the way from $344 to $280-something dollars. They're trading about $302 now. So they did take a hit, but they're kind of stable now. More stable than I think. I would have thought that would have, tanked them even more. Things like this are very serious, and one wrong move, again, as you can see here, it can cause a big chain reaction that just, affects people around the world. And it's something, again, like I said, you want to be very careful of. So who is CrowdStrike? CrowdStrike is an American cybersecurity firm founded in 2011, based in Austin, Texas. Since its inception, the company has grown rapidly and begun to offer a range of security services, including cloud-based software. It has raised millions, in funding from Silicon Valley powerhouses such as Google's venture capital arm. It employs thousands of workers and services business in countries across the globe, boasting on its website that it protects 538 out of the Fortune 500 companies. The firm has become immensely successful over the years, over the past decade, with market value of around 83 billion at the market close on Thursday, though its stock price was falling during Friday trading. CrowdStrike shares value declined dramatically following the outage, dipping as much as 13% on Friday. While the company's primary products are intended to block hackers and malware, CrowdStrike has also been hired to investigate major data breaches. The Democratic National Committee in 2018 tasked CrowdStrike with investigating the Russian hack of DNC servers, while Sony Pictures employed the company to look into a 2014 cyber attack to North Korea. So they have a lot of hands, they have a lot of responsibility, and with great responsibility comes great power and also great failure. It's not really surprising with someone who has this much power and responsibility, they slip up and do something wrong. This is why I wouldn't want this much responsibility in my hands. It's just too dangerous. Again, one wrong move and you could absolutely, it's like you're dropping something, like dropping an egg. You trip over, oh, there goes the egg. This is what's kind of happened here. CrowdStrike's previous investigation into the DNC attack also previously played a small but notable role in the first impeachment of Donald Trump and the special Trump echoing widely Republican blah blah. That CrowdStrike was involved in an elaborate cover-up. How did CrowdStrike cause the global outage? This will probably give me a better insight. The global outage stems from an update CrowdStrike made on its marquee cybersecurity platform, a cloud-based software called Falcon. When CrowdStrike published an update to Falcon software, which interacts with other parts of computer systems and software like Microsoft Windows product, it caused a malfunction that essentially disabled all those systems widely used by pieces of software. So it looks like anyone who was using any sort of Windows. Now, I don't know what Windows is specifically affected. Was it Windows? I think it was Windows 10 and 11. I'm not too sure about any other Windows, although I have heard that older Windows, like Windows 7 and Windows XP, still receive support, especially for governments. Governments who use Windows XP and Windows 7 will still receive security updates, obviously, especially for them systems. No, I don't know if it affected them as well. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think so. I think this only affected Windows 10 and 11. But I could be wrong. But it affected banks as well. Again, I don't know about PayPal, but blatantly the software intended to protect against crashes and disruptions in virtual computer systems ended up taking them down. CrowdStrike CEO George Kurtz has apologized for the outage, which the company has stated was due to a faulty piece of code. Wow. See what I mean? All it takes is just one little mess up in the code. Gone. This is not a security-intended cyber attack or an issue that has been identified, isolated, and fixed and being deployed, Kurtz wrote on Twitter. We refer customers to the support portal for the latest update and will continue to provide complete and continuous updates on our website. Compounding the chaos on Friday, another outage also hit Microsoft's Azure cloud service and caused an additional set of failures. Microsoft has stated the two outages were unrelated and the Azure service were now back online. Kurtz meanwhile told NBC Today that it could be some time before systems fully recover from the outage his company caused. That is pretty sad to see. And hopefully, again, people can get their systems back in order. I don't know. I think some people have said it bricked their Windows and stuff like this. This is the type of stuff you don't really want happening. If you rely on a piece of software or an operating system like Windows, again, probably I think one of the most popular operating systems for PCs, personal computers on the market. A lot of people use them it's a very good operating system. Obviously, we're not going to start the beef and stuff between Mac and PC, which is actually better. But it's quite obvious a lot of people do use Windows. I'm going to say probably, 3 billion people around the world, maybe a bit more, use Windows, whether that's 10 or any really Windows, to be honest. It's a very popular operating system, and a lot of people rely on it for businesses and stuff like that. And when you've got stuff like this happening, it can really cause a chain reaction and annoy people. And especially, I think some brokers as well. I think it affected the London Stock Exchange, which is pretty crazy. And some stockbrokers as well. If you tried to buy stuff, it just wasn't working as well. So a lot of places did rely on this. And this is quite a sad thing. Things happen, unfortunately. However, you got to realize what you're doing, because again, you have a lot of responsibility, and they do have a lot of responsibility. If they're managing companies like Google and stuff like that, some of the biggest companies on the world, especially Google and Microsoft, they manage incredible amounts of data, whether that's through servers and stuff like that. So they've got a lot of pressure on themselves. And when you've got a company like this who's in charge or very connected with you and makes a big mistake, it doesn't look good on your part as well. It looks pretty shitty on Microsoft's part too. So it's one of those moments, you just got to get over it and hope for the best. And, just hope that this thing doesn't happen and hope they don't make a huge mistake again. But it is what it is. Things happen and you just have to get over them.